My name is Hayden. I work with service businesses on Facebook and Instagram, running paid ads and setting up the systems that create high quality leads and also help convert those high quality leads. We consistently push in welding niches to generate leads worth over 10 grand. So there's a common misconception that I'm going to break down today, and that is that lead quality is random, especially on Meta. The reality check is that the lead quality is created through the systems that you have in place. And I have 6 factors that play into this system that I'm going to break down bit by bit today, explain what you might be doing wrong, how you can improve that, and the changes you can expect to see. If you find this video helpful at all, I have the links to my socials in the description where I post videos just like this every single day, but they're a little bit more easy to digest as they're short form. I also have the link to work with me in my bio, so if you're interested in working with me, feel free to fill that out and we can definitely get on a call and figure something out. Factor 1 is intent. Are the people seeing our ads actively looking right now? Now, there's a lot of things we can do in both the creative or the visual part of our ads and the copy or the text portion of our ads to filter out people who are serious in their intent with working with us versus not serious. Now, what does this is calling out people who are actively looking for our service. If you are actively looking to get your windows tinted, to get a new fence project started, something like that, and then we create urgency in the ad by explaining that we have a promotion running through a certain amount of time or to the next amount of people that see it. This helps us create the idea that they have an immediate need for our service. And people who are high intent, if they're found properly, it's going to beat any form of perfect, magical, geographical targeting you could do or age range targeting you could do, or interest stacking targeting you could do. Okay, factor 2 is expectation setting. Does the lead understand what the service is? Do they have a rough idea of our price range? And do they know what happens next? Obviously, we want to communicate the service that we're providing, the offer that we have. We're giving them maybe a rough price range. In my experience, you don't always need to do this, but I'll explain in a little bit on lead forms why it is important. And most importantly, what happens next. If you communicate to the leads before they've even submitted that they're going to be followed up with by a member of our team within X amount of time, or if you have the face of the business owner, whoever's running it, blah, 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 John will reach out to you within X amount of time. That clears up a lot of confusion for what the next steps will be after these people submit. Because if they're super confused, they're probably low quality. Factor 3 is the framing of the ad. We want to make sure that we're attracting the right people. We have a clear service breakdown, a clear outcome, and a clear audience. So this is meant for homeowners between the age of 30 and 55, whatever our offer might be, people who live in a certain town, people who are our ICP, right? We want to make sure that the ads are hitting our ICP. We want to explain to them, hey, this is what we do. This is how us doing it specifically will be the solution to your problems. And that is going to create a very clear audience of people before anybody's even submitted. Because vague ads are going to attract vague leads. So if you don't explain on there that, this is for homeowners who are ready to start their new fencing project and not for 18-year-old kids who want a skate park ramp built in their backyard. You know what I mean? Like, that clarification, as stupid as you might think it sounds, is sometimes necessary. I've experienced that running ads for commercial and residential window tinting. I've experienced vague leads so many times from not having ads set up properly, and only after making certain changes was I able to weed out those leads and generate higher quality ones. When we had our ads running and it was basically, anybody and everybody, we had a lot of people who were not homeowners, okay, so they couldn't make changes to the windows of the house. We had people who were under the impression that, they could have just one window done, which, okay, they can, but if we're not clear about this being a whole room or a whole house discount or something like that, then your client is potentially getting a lead that's worth $50 to go do a bathroom window 30 miles away, right? So we want to be very specific, set our expectations early, frame the ad early. Vague ads are going to attract vague leads. That's all I'm going to say. Factor 4 is form design. Does our form create light friction? Are we asking the right questions? Are we leaving out unnecessary fields? And are we filtering tire kickers? So whether you're running instant forms or you're running website forms that are off the platform, you want to make sure that you have friction. Now, friction is essentially questions that are going to qualify the leads before they submit. We might ask things like, project that they have in mind, timeline for the project that they have in mind, their budget for the project that they have in mind, where they're located, anything else, is the job on a hill, if for some reason we need to know that. And what this does is the person submitting their info has to be someone who's serious about this project before they can even put their info through, right? They have to consciously ask themselves like, okay, well, what is my timeline for this? Am I ready to do this within the next couple of weeks? Do I have the money saved up and set aside to do this? And that's going to filter people who are tire kicking, because people who are tire kicking probably don't have a project in mind. They probably don't have a timeline in mind. They probably don't have a budget in place, right? So by asking the right questions and leaving out unnecessary fields, things that are kind of stupid and irrelevant, we can filter the leads before they even come in. And one thing that's super important, and I've made examples of before in the past, is that on these platforms, Meta will autofill your information. So you don't have to type your phone number, your name, or your email. And if that's all you're asking for from these people, it's auto-filled, and hitting submit it's like instant. There's no friction there. So not only will people do it on accident, but the chances are people will do it, and because it's so little friction, they're gonna forget that they did it entirely. Generally, if it's too easy to submit, you're gonna have a lot of people who are very low intent. And if it's too hard, there's a chance that you get literally no leads, or your lead flow is really, really, really low. So you can always find pretty much a sweet spot of the questions to ask, the amount of questions, and that'll put you right in a healthy place of lead cost and lead quality. So factor 5 and 6 are kind of one and the same, but I'm gonna break them down individually. This one's very important, especially on Meta. Speed to lead. How fast are you responding? Are you doing it in minutes? Are you doing it in hours? Because the interest of these leads decays pretty quickly. So this ties into the last point that I made about people pretty much submitting frictionlessly and them forgetting instantly that they submitted. It's such a fast-paced platform. You probably know what it's like to be scrolling reels and then interact with one, scroll 5 more, and then completely forget that you can't remember the lead or the video that you saw up here, right? So kind of the same concept. Now there's 2 things you can do to solve this. First of all, I'm gonna explain that response time changes the lead quality perception. If you're a professional shop, if you're a successful business, chances are you're gonna have a system in place that handles follow-up. When someone submits their info to you, you wanna confirm to them that you've received it and set the expectation for communication moving forward. But the speed at which you do this, whether your system does it instantly or you have someone that does it instantly, is going to make and break a lot of your Meta leads. Ideally, we wanna be within 15 minutes of a lead coming in. And I know this sounds kind of ridiculous. Anything under this is better. It is such a fast-paced platform, guys. I drill it into all of my clients' heads. The faster you can get on the phone with these people, and that's on the phone, you wanna be calling them. That's another point I need to make. Here's my little phone here. If you call them within 15 minutes, you're 9 times more likely to convert the lead than someone who doesn't. Okay, so just remember to be very fast with your leads, if nothing else. And like I said, factor 6 is gonna tie right into this. This is our follow-up system. So do we have structured follow-up? Are we utilizing multiple touch points? Are we setting clear next steps and being consistent? So follow-up would look something like the lead coming in and they get instant confirmation from our system. We've received their info, and this sets the expectation or clear next steps. This will say something like, we will be in touch within 15 minutes, or John will be in touch within 15 minutes. That's clear, that's communicative, that's trust building. So then obviously after 15 minutes, we call them. If they don't reply, I tell a lot of my guys, call again, okay? Call 2 times. Don't leave a voicemail the first time, then leave a voicemail the second time, and send a text after. Okay, we've done everything we can do. This person has gotten hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times within ideally the first 15 minutes. We're not looking desperate here. We're looking professional. We're looking clear. We're not being spammy because this person consented to receiving information about the project that they were looking for. So we're gonna take advantage of that. So those already were multiple touch points. We're not just calling them once and texting them once and then calling them a bad lead, right? We're doing our part immediately to follow up with these people. And then after that, we have an automation, whether it be every single day or every 2 days, that texts them and gives them info that's relevant to our business. We build trust with them through FAQs, through trust signals, like how long we've been in business, how many jobs we've done, how many 5-star reviews we have, and all those things will build the trust that this lead has with us so much. So the truth about these lead gen ads is typically bad leads were just ignored too long. They weren't handled properly. They weren't followed up with properly. You weren't clear and consistent in your follow-up, in your expectation setting, in your communication, any of that. So the final truth is that lead quality is a result of the system behind the leads and not the platform that the ads are being placed on. So lead quality alone is not determined by just the platform itself, whether it's Meta versus Google, the budget size that you have, the fancy creatives you have, or the brand of the CRM that you're using. There will always be those people that slip through the cracks, and there's really just nothing you can do about that at the end of the day. Your budget size, I've been successfully able to run campaigns at $10 per day. We had a campaign running for a PPF shop at $10 per day for literally 2 months, generating at least 1 to 5 leads a day, attributing to at least $10,000 in revenue within the first few months. And that was off of only like $600 in ad spend at $10 a day for 2 months. You don't need fancy $20,000 camera equipment and videos made, and you definitely don't need to focus too crazy on whether you use Go High Level or Zapier or ClickFunnels or Jobber or whatever you're using. But it's realistically all of these things working together to create you lead quality. So try to remember that your lead quality is not random, and if you're experiencing really low quality leads that are not getting back to you, leads that are not actually serious about working with you, that you can create the quality through the systems and the work that you do before they ever submit. Now, like I said, my name is Hayden. All of my links to my socials are in the description down below. Now, I also have the link to work with me down below if you want to get on a call and allow us to come into your business, set up a system for you to generate higher quality leads. Beyond that, thank you for watching. If you made it this far through, let me know in the comments if you have any input or any personal experience with ads and systems behind them, whether they made changes that were effective or not, and I appreciate you for watching.